Here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Americana Bistro Grill. I'm your host, Roberto Alvarez-Galloso, serving you the best in Americana music. For me, I have the pleasure and honor of having one of the greatest in Americana music, Judy Paster. For me, it's a pleasure and honor having you.
Thank you, and it's Pastor, by the way.
Pastor, thanks for reminding me.
Paster,
For,
pastor,
no,
tomato.
we'll stick with Pastor. The reason why we have you here is because I had the honor of seeing your videos in YouTube
Mm,
and listening to some of the things that you have in the website, which is
okay,
beautiful.
thank
And I
you.
said we have to include Judy Pastor in the Americana Bistro Girl, like we've done with other artists. Ours are going to be the question I have for you is talk to me about your beginnings, your present, your future, and what were the idols in your life and in your career and how they influenced you.
Okay, well, that's a big question, and I will do my best to answer it. I started with piano lessons, and I wanted guitar, and so I asked my parents for guitar lessons when I was 8 years old, and for some reason they agreed. And like my first two chords that I learned, I put a poem to the chords, and I had a song, and it was something, very simple, but it was a song nonetheless. And that just progressed into a hobby. So when I was like in grade school, I would perform at the talent shows and stuff that they would have. And eventually, I played my first coffee house, et cetera, and began to travel and sing and play and write songs the whole time. And eventually, it became it moved into purpose. It was a hobby, and then I was passionate, but then it was like, okay, I'm supposed to be doing this, and there's a lot of purpose in it. And so to where I am today. So that's kind of the journey. And of course, I lived in different places, and I got married 7.5 years ago in Nashville. I met my husband, and that's changed. It's gotten me more focused as well. So there's just since I moved to Nashville, I've really like rooted down here, and really have gotten more, just more into it even than I was prior to living here. And I was already quite into doing music, but Nashville has really been a key in my life. So, um, and then idols along the way, I was really inspired when I was little. My parents, I have a song called Picture on the Wall, and
Mm-hmm.
I released it last on an album last year. Um, But when I was a baby, my parents purchased a very large painting, and it's a girl sitting on a couch playing an acoustic guitar, looking down at the guitar. Her face is kind of shadowed. She has long hair and a shawl wrapped around her shoulders. And as I got older, I realized like she's looks like a singer-songwriter. And I literally I crawled around under this painting, and my parents had no clue that I was going to be a singer-songwriter. So I think that in that vein, I also heard those 1970s very pure singer-songwriters like Joni Mitchell and Carole King,
Mm-hmm.
and was very inspired. But I didn't really know that I was inspired because I was little when I heard them, but I liked them, and I recognized something in those singers that I more than liked, I loved. And so those were like my first influences was are those like singer-songwriters from that era. And then I like Linda Ronstadt. I like some of the classic country, although I did not grow up with classic country because I grew up in the Northeast. And so we didn't
Mm-hmm.
weren't really exposed to country music that much. Really wasn't until I moved down here that I realized how much I love it, but also how much I sound like some of my songs are very classic country sounding. So it's like interesting that and my voice lends itself to that wasn't how I was raised, but it's something that's natural. So and then in later years I really like Casey Musgraves, and
Mhm.
Brandy Carlisle and other like current singer-songwriters.
Great. How do you see the future in your career?
Well, I mean, we are on a mission to, be full-time in music and be able to, make a living, financially doing this. And so we are like in that process. And so I see it all of it just continuing, just increasing the recording, releasing music, touring, performing, obviously, and songwriting. All of it just fits together, and I love it all.
Yeah. For me, the way I see the future of singer-songwriters. The singer-songwriters are making a comeback. We've seen that in the Americana Bistro Grill in our program. Most of them make a comeback for one reason. People want sincerity and clarity in their music.
Yeah.
I'm not I am not knocking midstream. I'm not knocking mainstream music. I too grew up with Carole King and I grew up with Linda Ronstadt. And they had really had great music. But right now the singer-songwriters are making a big comeback. They're making a big comeback because they are get in touch with the realities of life today.
Mhm.
How do I see the singer-songwriters? Most of them are going to be producing the hits of the 21st century. In other words, you're not going to be having, this is my personal opinion. You're not going to be having Hollywood, New York, or Nashville calling the shots. You're going to be having small states, well, not small states, but you're going to have states like Wisconsin, South Dakota, Ohio, Pennsylvania, even Alabama, and
Mhm.
even Florida
Yeah.
calling the shots.
Mhm.
And you're in the center of that. You and all the other singer-songwriters. In other
Yeah.
words, I see a great future. I
Thank
have
you.
seen your YouTube videos, and they're excellent.
Thank you.
They're very excellent.
Thank you.
Which leads to my next question. Where can we find all of the songs written and recorded by Judy Paster?
You
Especially myself, since you already got someone to buy a CD, myself.
Oh, great. You can find all my music on my website, which is Judy Paster, and it's JudyPaster .com, or I'm Judy Pastor Music on Spotify, Apple Music, um, wherever you might go to get your music, or YouTube, Judy Pastor Music as well. So you definitely just like put my name in and Google me and stuff will pop up.
Yeah, we'll be doing that.
Thank
And
you.
and for myself, the Americana Bistro Grill, we're under the YouTube channel of Alvarez-Galloso altogether, but I'm also available in other channels such as Rumble, Brighteon, Bitchute. Rumble is here in Florida.
Yeah.
Bitchute is in England. Brighteon is in South Dakota.
Love.
I'm also in V Contact. Also, for those who are interested in helping not only the singer-songwriter, but also helping the Americana Bistro Grill be able to keep itself on the air and to be able to help independent artists, especially the indie Americana artists. We are also on Zelle under the email rcag62@gmail.com. I don't usually do this, but this is sort of to like maintain the programs so that we could interview the artists. I also want to issue an invitation and a challenge to all Americana artists. Please come one, come all to be interviewed in the Americana Bistro Grill. Why? Because we want to promote your music. We want to promote your music to a worldwide audience. Because now is the time, the 21st century, that belongs to the singer-songwriters, it belongs to the indie artists. We cannot miss the boat on this. We have to take the initiative and get going. So Judy, if you know anybody, please send them my way. My email address is the same as my Zelle address.
Okay.
Without
Definitely.
much, this is Roberto Alvarez-Galloso telling everybody from here in Miami, Florida, we don't live in the city itself. We live really, really way far. We're much more closer to the Keys than we are to the city. Peace in, peace out, and peace everywhere. 1 minute.